for some help. All I need, all I need, just with your precious love, Jesus. I need you to hold my hand, all I need is just from you. All I need. I need a touch, Lord. I'm going through the pain in my life.
All right, we're here with a segment of Testimony Tuesday, but today we are doing Testimony Tuesday a little different. Today we're doing Testimony Tuesday's roundtable. If you guys can see, we have Pastor Ragsdale, myself, Mrs. Ragsdale, we have Curtis Murray, and my aunt Sandra Dye has decided to join us today. Everybody say hello. Hey, and we just want to welcome you all to our first segment of Roundtable Testimony Tuesday. Today on the Roundtable, we will be discussing death in the Black communities and how we deal with death throughout our Black communities and our families, how we deal with it, and the things that we take from it and the things that we feel like should be done productively and in a manner of way we how God would do it, shall I say. But we don't always do that, you know. So today we're just gonna talk about a few things about how we lost loved ones and the things that we've gone through as a Black culture, you know. So before we get started, we just want to again, make sure you all are praying for the Murray family. You know, Curtis, he lost his dad. So make sure you all are praying for him. And we just want to say thank you all for joining us and keeping our Testimony Tuesdays going. Without you guys, it wouldn't be a Testimony Tuesday. So, and don't forget, October 21st, we will have our second part of our Let's Kill Cancer concert. It is Pink and Blue Benefit this year. This is what we're calling it. The Let's Kill Cancer's Pink and Blue with Kurt Cares and Hustle Muscle Worldwide and Bible Life Ministries. So we just want to welcome you all. It'll be held in Muskogee, Oklahoma. So if you can join us, we would love for you to participate in that. Again, it's October 21st.
At the Loving Mount Calvary Baptist Church, where Pastor Gary Hall is the pastor.
Yes. Y'all got that? So we're going to get started and we're going to let Pastor Harold open up and ask the question. So I don't know what to ask.
Well, it's a round table. We all have gone through death, some more than others, but I know with you, Elder Kurt, you just went through chemo. You came out of chemo right into your father passing. The family, we're working on the service and everything, and just kind of talk about, you know, some of the challenges of preparing and getting things ready and some of the challenges that you're going through, and they're still trying to live every day.
Oh, well, first of all, man, thank y'all for the prayers. I think the cancer, in a strange way, the spiritual battle I had to fight just not to go crazy and give up. You know, you think you're strong till you hear that death is in your domain. And, you know, I'm just glad that I had a basic foundation through my family with God. But who nurtured it was my dad. So what I'm feeling right now is that absence, my connection to God himself, because, well, Pastor Ragsdale starting to take that place, but I used to be able to just call my dad on matter how I was feeling about a certain situation, and he could take me to the Bible and show me that there were men who already fought the spiritual battle for me. And there's an example on how to make it through in the Bible. And it just seemed like he told me that the Bible should speak to your life if you're walking the right walk. It don't mean if it's perfect walk. It means if you're a child of God, there's history that gives you guidance, right? So he taught me how to kind of find that. So now what I'm missing is I'm missing his counsel on how to handle the relatives I know and the relatives that I don't know, because when a great man passes, there's a vacuum of leadership, compassion, togetherness, cohesiveness that is missing. And the thing about it, it's the very thing that people may not have noticed or appreciate, how much that person. Now, in some families, it's grandma, right? She's the one everybody look up to. But for the men on the Murray side, and a lot on my mom's side, my dad was somebody that they looked up to, somebody that you thought you would always see. So therefore, it's somebody that you may have taken for granted. That's what taking for granted is. Assuming that mama's always gonna be there to bail you out. Assuming daddy's always got that 20 in his wallet when you need to do something. And it makes it easy for us to not live up to what we should be doing, because that rock is always there, right? It don't have to be dad, but for his family, I mean, shoot, he graduated college by the time he was 20, went in the Army as an officer, ended up having 3 sons, 2 marriages, one up the past one, 46 years. So as you can imagine, even me, I have nieces and nephews, because him having 2 families, I got relatives that I don't know, but I'm having to get to know them. And what it does is make me ashamed that I didn't make more effort to get to know my nephews, right? To mend whatever fences I had with my brother. We didn't always get along, but lately we just buried the hatchet. And I'm thankful for that. It's a weight off my spirit, because I'm the oldest brother and I should have been better. And I could have been a better son. But having said that, what I can do to honor my dad is to stand behind his wife, even when she makes decisions that the family don't agree with. And I just want them to know that don't make me love my dad any less, but I believe in honoring a person. And the best thing I can do, since I can't bring him back, I feel like I should just have his wife's back, And so for me, I kind of, I'm still numb. I still feel the loss, but at the same time, I'm kind of amazed at the maturity levels of some of my relatives. I'll just be honest. I'll just put it out there, right? I done seen some Negroes show they natural black behinds, and these are good folk, good church people. They're just showing their pain in a way that's inflicting pain and stress upon me, right? And I'm not trying to make it all about me. What I'm saying is each individual handles loss a different way. And if we could gain a maturity to not let our pain inflict pain on others, I think that would be a start for healing. Because a lot of times, you know what the death of a strong person does in the family? It busts them all the way apart. It's never the same.
Right.
Tell me you ain't seen that in your own life.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
I've seen it.
So for me, it's like I try to wake up each day and not buy into my own aggravation or anything like that.
Mhm.
But quite honestly, I'm planning my dad's memorial So what it does is give me something to do instead of concentrating on my loss. So what it tells me is I'll feel this loss for the rest of my life. It's not just a thing I'm gonna get over. So the expectation is the same, right? So the spiritual battle is to get up every day and keep God first, right? Well, the death of my dad, it took one of my weapons away. That's what it did. So it made my fight a little harder. But just like when my parents were divorced young, I had to face the fact that my dad wasn't around, but he was still right here, right? And I knew where he was, right? I know where he is now, and I still got him right here. So that's what I try to concentrate on right now. But again, this thing with families and loss and people that think they're entitled to inflict their pain or show their pain in a way that intrudes on others' grief. It's not something that's done on purpose, but it's something we need to talk about, because oftentimes when people are at their lowest, they take things the wrong way, and they take it 10 times much harder, right? To where you may not ever want, because of this time that this person kind of violated your code or maybe offended you in the way that they express their grief, it may cause you not to speak to them ever again. And as a Christian, that's a give up spirit, right? Now, it's one thing to come to somebody in love. If you have a disagreement and they choose to shun you or not want to mess with you, that's one thing. But to take a heartfelt emotion and let that dictate how you're going to treat another person in your family and another child of God, that's where we, as the quote unquote victim of whatever somebody else did, man, get over yourself. Right? Your battle is to wake up the next day, forgive, not necessarily forget, but try to show people the grace and mercy that God is showing you. That's easier said than done, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm in a constant battle to remind myself whose I am, not all I am inside, not what my pride says, not what my aggravation and my loss of patience with people says. I'm trying to get back to God each and every day through this grief.
Okay, well,
but you know that is that's real talk, and we all know it can be even grimier, because when my father passed, my sister and I, we really don't vibe. And to be quite honest, I don't, we're gonna be transparent because this is the table.
right.
So basically, my sister was right in Gainesville, Texas, when my father took sick. And we called her, hey, you need to come see Pops because the time is getting short. And this is what I don't like about us people, our people. And she would not come see him and say, well, I don't want to see Harold. Well, Harold works. So you can go to the hospital and see your dad. This dude raised us up. He raised her all the way through college. We were all fat. He fed us. We knew where he was at. But she couldn't drive 30 minutes to 45 minutes from Gainesville, Texas to Dallas, Texas. But when he died, and Harold was there, Harold eulogized him, she showed her face at the funeral. He's dead. Why are you here? Let's just be real, bro. That's not of God. I know me, if I don't fool with you in life, on your homegoing or your memorial service or whatever, I'm gonna be absent. I'm not going to anyone's homegoing if I have any kind of I think that day should be nothing but love.
Right.
Nothing but love. That's what a eulogy is. You know what I'm saying? But it's something about us black people, may as well say it. I think she came because she thought some money was gonna exchange hands.
Wow.
So it had to be about money, because if you didn't come while he was alive, while he was alert, and you used Harold as an excuse, so if he's dead and Harold is still alive and you're going to see Harold, why would you come see him laying in a box? That's just his corpse. He's gone. That's where, you know, black people, I can't even say that's hurt. That's ignorance to me, man. I think we go through a lot of ignorance. And
you know what hurts me about it, though? Not to cut you off. We all grew up together. Man, y'all used to be like this.
Right.
That's what worked the same job together, man. We'd be on the phone together for hours, clowning and having fun. I don't know what happened, and it bothers me to see y'all separated like that, man. That hurts my heart, and that's why I'm trying to do better, you know, with my siblings and everything, because I don't, man, that don't make me feel good to see you like that, man, because whether you want to admit it or not, that's a loss in your life.
Right. We have to put Christ first before our own personal ignorances, but a lot of us don't do that.
But you know what? We don't pick our relatives.
Right.
You can't pick your blood relatives.
Right.
But God gives us a choice to pick who our family is. When a woman go take that man, or that man take that woman, and they join together, that's their immediate family. Because no matter what, we can't take back who our mom, dad, and our siblings are. Whether we like them or not, we're all connected. We can't change that. We have no choice on who's our relative, but we have a choice on who is our family. And in times of death, you start to recognize who is your family and who is just really a relative. Because you're going to find out that the people that are, and I think it's kind of hypocritical, because when someone dies, you get all these phone calls, you get a bunch of chicken brought to you, you get some, you know, you might even get some money. But what you will see, and the sister on the line, I'm pretty sure she can relate to this, it's 7 or 8 months down the road when those phone calls stop, when it's just you by yourself and that loved one is not there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna reach out to you on your kids on your father's birthday. You know, don't nobody reach out to me on my son who was killed just a year ago by the Grand Prairie Police Department, I'ma say it, that had no criminal history, no nothing. 2 women cops killed him down. I don't get phone calls on December 9th, 1990, when he was born. So, but that connection that I have with him, you know what I'm saying, is still there. So what I'm saying is, when you lose someone, you never get over it. You just learn to live with it. And it'll get, as time goes on, you'll learn how to put certain things in place and help you make it through those hard times, because you will set up and think of, you know, just little things that especially, you know, with your dad, you're going to remember, you know, you would reach for the phone saying, man, I wish I could, but you can't do that.
It's already happened, man.
So,
like Deion Sanders, like the story with Deion up in Colorado, he'd have been all about that, man. You know, it's just little stuff like that. Kansas City finally good at football. That's his team. They were sorry for, man, most of his life.
Right.
And yeah, man. So, but anyhow,
So,
I'd like to hear what the sister got to say.
I ain't saying that. I want you to chime in, because you've lost 2 sons. You know, Ray Anthony was a baby when you lost him, And then Mun, how long ago that's been? 2011. Yep.
September
2011. Yep. It's coming up.
Well, actually, my grandbaby that's sitting there right now that I'm raising was his daughter. I've been had her since she was 3 months old. And the mama to that baby is who killed my son. But, you know, I had to really, I'm going to tell y'all, in the beginning, I didn't know what I would have done to this girl if I saw her again. And, you know, I had to really seek. I seek God, and I asked him to take over and let me know, you know, the right way to go, the right thing to do. And it's because of he is the one who helped me through all that, through all what I went through with my son. God was right there with me the whole time. Get out of here. And, you know, I just really was laying in bed and every night down there talking to God about my son and what happened, how did he feel, why did this girl do this? But y'all know when when you seek and ask him for something, he'll really give it to you. Because he sits there and he put that knife in my chest. I flopped over. I guess I was going through the motions of my son, what he went through. And I felt it because I said, but it was over after that. So God was just letting me know he didn't suffer. He didn't suffer. And he also gave me, I guess, the knowledge to forgive her. He said, how can you say you love me? Because I love him. I love God. God loved me and God got it. I'm in a relationship out of this world. I've even had my pastor prophesy and tell me things in church. But, you know, I know who God is. I was on my knees the night my son got killed. I missed 13 calls. I was in there on my knees, but God was getting me ready. He was preparing me for this, but I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know that there's all these calls that I was missing, and it was about my son dead. But this girl that killed him, I just prayed to the good Lord and asked him, you know what is it? Because I have raised this girl too, along with her baby. They stayed with me. This was a household. I sent this girl to school, you know, all of this stuff. God showed me all the stuff, told me to find, me where this girl was. I didn't even know what this child was. He led me to her, to forgive her, not to hurt her. But the first thing she thought was I was coming to harm her, because then she knew me then. With my son, she knew me, but that wasn't me. That wasn't the same me. That was a different me. That God had came in and led me to forgive that child. And I did. She was to check out running. I told her, you don't have to run. I didn't come here to harm you. I come here to forgive you. Because God let me know that it was a mistake. It wasn't intentional. She didn't intentionally kill my son. And God let me know that. The girl loved my son. You know, she loved him. But it don't change the fact of us being black, what y'all talking about. And we can get ignorant and just try to go off and do what we want to do. But hey, there's a stopping point. If you would just think, and if you would just talk to God, he'll turn all that around. Because he did it for me.
Yes.
He turned it all around and made me welcome that girl back into my home, welcome her to a baby that I'm like, well, you took my son, so you'll never see your child again. And I've had that baby since she was 3 months old. But I allowed that woman to come back to me. I loved her. I'm just like I did when I was raising her. I have no envy in my heart for her today. I don't. I teach my grandbabies, which is her mother. She didn't mean it. God showed me she did not mean it. You got to forgive her. She didn't mean that. It was an accident. Well, everybody walking around here, she didn't spend one day in prison or none of that. But you know, I had like 3 of my sisters and brothers that I told about this story. They said, we don't know what you was waiting on in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I know what I was waiting on. I was waiting on God. to intervene because I didn't want to hurt nobody. I didn't want to, but that's all the devil had in me was to go and get revenge on her.
Yeah.
But God saw better for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And He knows the love that I got in my heart for people. I can't hurt nobody, y'all. I'm just a humble cry.
Yeah. That's right.
I
That's
can't
right.
hurt nobody.
That's right.
He knows that wasn't my life. I still got kids to raise. I'm still raising them. I got two more, 2 and 4. They my grandbabies. They my great grands. See, I done raised how many Tamika? Many of my grandchildren.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, it's you just have to really stop and think and talk to God. I don't care. Put Him first. Talk to Him before you go out there and try to do anything to anybody because He can turn that situation around. I'm
Yes,
talking
He can. Yes, He
just
can.
like that. He'll turn it around. He'll take you through the motions if He has to because He did me.
Yes, Lord.
And that's how I was able to forgive that baby and leave that alone.
Yeah.
I even had one guy come up. Actually, I was dating that guy at the time. What's she doing here? I said, that was my child now.
Right.
So if I can forgive her, it's nothing you can say because I went through the motions. You did. I
Yeah.
did.
That's real.
So God said,
Amen.
no. And so I'm telling you, no. You can go before I make her go.
That's
Mm.
right.
Because yes, He took me through the motion. God did. So that means you can go before that child goes. I got to do what God said to. And that's what I did.
Mama.
But she spooked off and come back no more. But hey, that ain't talking to me. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not because of me. It's not because I got nothing bad against her or nothing. I think it's more like she's just out there getting whipped for what she did. It's killing her. You know, it's killing that child. She done went to drugs and everything.
Really?
All I can do is pray for her and ask God to deliver her and set her free. And then I ask y'all to do the same thing. Jacqueline Charles is her name. And just put her up in prayer. You know, because that's what I do for her. I pray for that girl.
Yeah, we have to keep
I
her.
raised her, baby. I got to show her daughter. I'm raising her daughter. So I got to show her the right way to go, not the ugly way to go.
Yeah.
Man.
So I can get a respectful child.
That's right. She respectful. Quisha respectful.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Really respectful.
Yeah.
And when you're doing what God asked you to do, which is His will and not your own, because your will would lead you in prison, you know, for something that was just out of your control. You know what I'm saying?
That's powerful.
So I'm just gonna chime in because, you know, going through things like that. I was married before, and my late husband decided he wanted to commit suicide. You know, I took blame for that because I had been married to him for all those years and what have you, and the things just didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go right. My aunt didn't know she was there, she could tell you. But I decided that I wanted out. But before I decided I wanted out, God was the reason why I got out. Because I started praying for peace in my life. There was no peace in my home. There was no peace. It was always confusion and turmoil and all this type of stuff being flipped upside down. So that last night, you know, I went to God. I started a 41-day fast, and God started dealing with me. I was on my way back from Texarkana, and on day 6 of my 41-day fast was the day that he committed suicide. But God wasn't done with me yet. He was just preparing me for the things that I was still about to go through. Right. So I stayed on that fast. I didn't get off of it. I stayed on it because I had to deal with his family, which was his mama, his sister. I had to deal with everybody over there. They thought I was about to fight them. I didn't do that. God told me, no, you will not have to do that. And I did it. I didn't have to fight them. They tried to come up against me with so many different things. I had insurance on him through my job, but he committed suicide, so my insurance wasn't going to pay because it was fresh. It wasn't 2 years. The lady told me it had to be 2 years. And in November, he killed himself in June. November would have been the 2 years. They weren't going to pay for it. But his mama had insurance on him from the time he was born, so we had to go with that insurance. So she felt like that was her way to take control. I threw my hands up. I didn't fight her on it. You know, whichever way she wanted to go, I released the body to her, everything. I done all of that. So yeah, they were talking to me like, you know, we in this together. We're gonna do this together, step by step. But all the time, they were behind my back, being undermined. You know, the sister, him and her mom and the sister, they was coming against me. I didn't argue with that, but my auntie, which is my aunt's sister, that's who God just told me I had to constantly stay with people that are going to be in Him. So I did that, and my aunt's sister was the one that I called, and my auntie that's on here with me today. Both of them was with me, and they just we stayed in prayer. We stayed in prayer. We stayed in prayer. I didn't fight them. The sister one night, she got on the phone and she called me and she was just telling me how much she hated me because her brother was dead. I just sit there and I listened to her, and I told her, I said, well, to God be the glory. Those were my words to her. And I told her, I said, I have no fight with y'all. I just don't. I don't have no fight. I said, y'all's fight is not with me, it's with yourself. Because first of all, he begged and pleaded with them to allow him to just come get himself together. I had to put him in a mental ward because he had already tried to commit suicide 3 times before he actually done it. I had put him in a mental ward, and I told him, the lady, I said his point of contact would be his mom and me. You know, if you needed whatever, because I was his wife, so I had to be the first on the list, but we wasn't together. So I had his mom there, but she told him she wasn't going to be dealing with him because he wasn't going to be disrupting her house. So she wasn't dealing with him. This was before he died. So he committed suicide, and then all of a sudden, tables turned, they flipped it on me. But through it all, I just wanted to give it to God, because had it not been for him, I would have fought with them every step of the way. I told my kids, we're not going to fight. We're going to go. We're going to let them have their funeral. My kids wanted to bury him in a certain thing, in a certain way. They fought my kids with that. I told them, let them have it. You know, let them have their way or whatever, because I already knew when that day came for the other part of the money to be doled out, she was going to come to me and say, well, I don't have this money. You know, I need this money so we can fit. And I told them, I said, you picked out the casket. You wanted all this extravagant stuff. They wanted this funeral to be so extravagant and all that. I told them I'm not going to be doing that. You know, but I did. I helped her finish paying for it. I went to my savings and I gave her the rest of the money or whatever, just to go to pay for the funeral home, because that looks bad. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't fight with that. So I did. I helped her pay for that. And that was the end of it for me. But what I'm trying to say is, when people feel like when people they wanted an outlet. They wanted somebody to blame. So I was that person. You know, they wanted to blame me because she should have did this. She should have done that. She should have. I'm just like, but I let them do that. But God said it wasn't so. So when he turned the tables back on them, all they had to do, they had to come back to me and apologize. And I welcomed them with open arms. And I already told them, you know, I had already forgiven y'all the first day that y'all had done. I wasn't going to fight with nobody. Because my auntie that's on this phone now, she said, you don't owe nobody nothing. No. She said, you done what God told you to do. I was fighting myself. I was bad, wasn't I? I was battling myself. I was like, dang, did I do something wrong? Like, what did I do wrong? And it's like, you don't owe nobody nothing. You just stay in God. And I did. I grew closer to God in those 41 days than I had ever been close to him in my life. That was an eye-opener for me. You know what I'm saying? I had never had a loss like that, you know, before. But God showed me I was free. He said, you started praying for peace, my daughter. I gave you that. I wasn't looking for peace in that sense, but who am I to tell God how to give me peace? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I went through that. I let them have their moments or whatever. I because that was his mama, I tried to be respectful. So, but everybody don't think like you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say they got God, don't have it. No. So I just wanted to share that, you know, because like she said, it's black, white, but we're talking about us and our people, you know. But our people are the ones that we interact with on a daily basis, and they just act, you know, crazy instead of just. Everybody has a day. We have 2 days. We have birth and we have death that we know are gonna happen. Sure. We know. So when death comes, a lot of people, like you said, Kirk, they just let their emotions take over instead of letting reality sit in and be like, well, this is a God thing. You know, God is the only one that is a author. He's the only one that can give and take life. You know what I'm saying? So who are we to fight against that?
Right.
Praying for it.
Yeah.
You got to pray for everybody.
We do. We sure
You got
do.
to keep praying for them and don't try to fight against nobody.
That's right.
Do some things because they got to go through what they got to go through, but that don't mean you got to go through it with them.
That's right. And I did.
That means you need to pray for them people.
Yeah.
Though. You pray for them because if you're a woman of God, a man of God, you pray for them folks, and God hears your cry.
Yes, He
He
does.
hears your cry in order to deliver them. So you have to pray for them people.
You sure?
Right.
Thank God for my life today, and I know where I'm supposed to be. So, y'all, I'm a backslider, so I know where I'm supposed to be. I am a true woman of God, and God is really dealing with me and working with me in my situation, what I'm going through. But I already know, y'all. I know this every day. I know, and He ain't gonna even let me leave here until I cross right on back over where I belong. Because I pray for that, I asked Him for that, and I believe that, and I have had people to prophesy to me and let me know, but I know if He God talking to me, I know that. I already know. And I said, Lord, I know. I know when He want me to sit up and do something, y'all, He makes me do it. He wants to come up against my own sister that she's talking about, which is a pastor. He makes me tell her, get back in line, get back over here. And I said, I ain't doing that. He's going, yeah, you are. You gonna do it, then I have to break down and I have to sister God keeps messing with me. You don't get mad at me. She listens to what I gotta say because that's one person knows about me. She knows about me and God relationship. She'll tell you in a minute. But she know when I say, well, He told me to tell you this and He told me to tell you that. So she know you gotta get it to do it. You know what He's talking about. You know what He's talking about because He gave it to me. Because I don't know. I'm not up there with you. I'm down with you.
That's right.
So when He go to dealing with me about another person, because I pray for everybody all the time. I pray for all my people. I pray for other people. And I put all of them first. I put people before me all the time. Tamika didn't tell you. I put me last. I put everybody up first. Even my bills. If somebody comes to me, I need this, I need that. Hey, I give it to them. Like, Lord, I know that was my bill. I know that was my bill money, but He said, don't worry about it. That bill is paid. And that bill is paid, y'all. I'm not playing. That money that I've taken and gave to somebody, that food that I've taken out of my house and given to somebody, He never folds it all back. He gives it all back to me. I don't worry about nothing, y'all. I don't. Not saying that I'm the perfect piece. I'm not. But I'm working on it. I'm working on trying to get it right, get my life in order with God. I do every day. I try to talk to Him first about before I do anything. And it's just me and my girls. It's been that way 18 years now. So I just have to, I'm the man and the woman of this house right now. But I'm feeling like there's some things about to change. For me, I need to make a change, and I do. And I thank God is giving me that change where I'm going, because I've been praying for it. So everything here done went so smooth. I told Him, I said, for me, it's gonna go. I ain't gonna have no problem. I have not had one problem.
Well, your faith in God is strong. So that's what God tells us that we should lean on is our faith, because those are things that we can't see. So we know we have to lean on our faith. Without faith, we have nothing. So yeah, I know you're faithful. I say sometimes, I tell a sister a lot of times, I said, I tell you what, I tell you who ain't gonna lose their faith in that thing, Sandry.
That's me. The devil take me through though.
Yeah.
He knows,
all of us.
He knows my faith, and He'll try to take me through. But you know what? You have to talk back to Him, and you have to let Him know who is over you. You're not over me. Because just like I asked God for some things, and He'll come and say, no, you can't have it. I say, well, whenever you get through, I wasn't talking to you because I was talking to God. So that's what I'm waiting on. And I'm telling y'all just like that, it's done. I said, thank you, Lord. I keep going. I don't sit up there, but I don't worry about what He does. He came to me, turned my lights off. He turned my water off. I'm telling y'all, this is all back to back. Back to back. This day, next day. dying. I have a quarter. But I know who was gonna do it. Turn them right back on. Well, this time we made a mistake here. I know y'all did. You made a mistake right here too. Cut it back on. And he can't agree with me.
Amen. Amen.
That's right.
Supposed to be, y'all. I know I'm supposed to be in the house of the Lord. I do know that.
That's right.
Right on.
We all do, and we all gonna stand, and we all gonna
Oh,
be in the
yeah.
house of the Lord. I thank God every day for my peace, cause baby, He sent me.
You protect your peace.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
That
He
you gotta
sent me
protect your peace. You
know.
said something a minute ago. You said that God let you feel the knife. I can relate to that because I didn't talk to anyone when they killed my son, but one of the things I was struggling with, I said, did he suffer? So in a dream, God allowed me to take the headshot, and everything happened, and I was like, oh, he didn't suffer. He was like, nah, he didn't suffer at all.
Ain't it? He would not. Do you understand? He was not sleeping. So I was up with him. I said, baby, you all right? He wouldn't talk to me about it. I said, baby, you good? You good? I was up. I dozed back out, but I get right back up. I'd be like, baby, you all right? He never would tell me, never would say nothing. And then all of a sudden, he had that dream, and he started sleeping. He started sleeping peacefully.
Yeah.
One thing that sometimes he'll relieve you. He'll relieve you.
Yeah, he didn't suffer. Yeah.
He'll relieve you. I mean, I did. I laid in my bed, y'all, and I could not sleep. My thing is, I was laying there, and daybreak would hit me in the face. And I'm gonna tell y'all, the devil will try to attack me on my bed, because when I know what I'm talking about. I was struggling with it. He had put the covers over my head and was holding me down, and I was like, in the name of Jesus, get out for me. And that's how I broke loose. But it was that I couldn't sleep. I wasn't afraid or nothing, because he knows that he was not gonna overpower my faith for God. I put it that way. You can't take nothing from me. I'm not gonna let you take nothing. Yeah. God said, he said, well, my pastor, I stood up and I spoke in church one time about the love that I had for my children and what I would do, for them. And I'm telling y'all, the next day after that testimony, he took my son. Yeah, he took my back. Guess what? I still was right there standing. I still was right to God to help me like a little baby. I was down there for 2 weeks. I did not see my baby. They took him from the hospital before I made it there to CD. I had to drive from Dallas to Prescott, Arkansas. So they had already took. By the time I got there, they took all the good stuff, my baby, everything. I couldn't see him for 2 weeks. I said, but that's all right. God just held me like a little old baby right there. He held me in his hand. He did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was all right. I'm all right today.
Yeah.
My sister gone. 2 of them just passed.
Yeah.
He just been taking them back to back. But that's where it come in. We gotta be prepared. We don't know when we gonna go.
Sure
You don't know when you're gonna tap you on your shoulder and say, hey, son, it's time to go. Daughter, it's time to go. You don't know when he's gonna do that. So what we gotta do right now, he giving us this time. That he giving us to get it right. Either you gonna live or you gonna die.
That's right.
You gonna live or you gonna die. I'm gonna live. See, my pastor, I'm going to heaven. I know where I'm headed. I'm going. Before I leave, I'm going to heaven. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, baby just said that yesterday.
Yeah, with a lot of us, I like to tell people this, and what you just said is probably a good thing to end on tonight, because we all gonna see that day. But I'm a firm believer of this: you don't want to die. You can't afford to die until you first learn to live. And that's something that in our community, we don't do that. And then that's why when we have a loved one to die, it's a lot of confusion. Because the Bible teaches us that money is the answer to all things. People think money is not, the Bible, there's a scripture that says money is the answer to all things. But it said the love of money is the root of money, not the root of man's evil, not money, the love of money. Where we've got to go in a situation where, first of all, death, I don't believe when you leave this earth, that wasn't the first death, sister. First of all, your son died when he transitioned out of your stomach. Somebody get that in the morning. Because when he came out, you was laughing and y'all was glory, but they smacked him on his butt and he went to crying. They had to smack him to wake him back up because he had died through that transition. Now he was brought into this world, into a mean, crooked world. He went through all the ups and downs, the brief time he had here, the trials and tribulations. Right. Whatever he went through, that's what he went through. But the good thing about it, that next transition, this time when he left, you cried, but he smiled because he don't have to study war no more. And that's the way you got to look at it, Kurt, with Uncle Kurt. He transitioned where you might be shedding a tear, but he good now. And I'm a firm believer, anybody that leave here and leave here in Christ, that say, man, they don't want to come back here. I know when I go, I don't care about nothing here. I'm going to stay with the Lord. Because this is a mean world we living in, man.
Yes, it is.
It really is. But we got to continue to pick each other up. And we got to pick each other up. And
when you say this is a mean world,
yes,
I ain't talking about strangers. I'm talking about them people you see all the time.
Yeah.
Right. That's
the thing. You expect something from enemies.
Yeah.
Right.
But people in your circle, that's what I'm talking about. And it all comes from hurt and emotion. It ain't intention.
Right.
I don't think nobody wake up and say, how much pain can I inflict every day?
Right.
But you can live in your feelings and hurt a lot of people.
You can.
Yeah. We had that bad. We had that bad in our community. And I'm pretty sure it's in other races of people, Edomites or whatever you want to call it, Caucasians, Mexicans, Indians. I'm pretty sure they have they issues also, but I'm a firm believer that charity begins at home. Charity begins within a race of people. So we've got to learn how to treat ourselves. When we learn how to treat ourselves on a daily basis, say, don't you know other races will know that they can't do that anymore?
Right.
I mean, we grew up in Oklahoma in a very racist place, but you know for a fact, certain things that they do now, man, they wouldn't do that to us.
Nope.
Man, some of the Caucasians, God bless them, they bold now, man. Because our black boys, they don't, I know this is getting off topic, but our black boys, they got wishbones, not backbones. You know what I'm saying? A white boy knew if he called me the N-word or called you the N-word, say, man, that was a hell of a beating he was about to take. But now, I see the kids now, they got white homeboys, they call each other the N-word. It's just, you know, it's cool, or it's a slang thing, and it seems like the roles have changed. Even with our women, I'm around more. The women are tougher. The women have more guts than the men.
All right, Amy. Thank you for joining. We appreciate it.
Okay, I will.
We'll pick this round table. This is an ongoing conversation.
So,
right.
Next week, we got you next week. But you can log off. We got you. Thank you.
Okay.
Love you.
Love y'all.
All right.
Yeah, that's definitely
thank you.
Different conversation. We have to get
This is why we need to have the conversation. It's a conversation that need to be renewed
Mhm.
all the time.
Right.
Because
Right.
people in pain, man, and they ain't got no outlet.
Right. And with there's a lot of people. We might even do another segment on this because there's a lot of people that's have lost loved ones,
Yeah.
and I had a partner, a preacher partner, man, and you know, he was at a member of a church, and it took him like 3 months to bury him. I'm like, man, ain't nowhere in the world I'ma serve with some people and they supposed to be my brothers and sisters. And you don't even put me in the ground. I mean, you know, why be a part of some man and you serving? And I bet you they took his tithes, I bet you they took his offerings, they took his money and everything. But then they couldn't come up with money to bury this fella. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I just know.
we gonna pick it up with that because the church is teaching us how to act.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's who we follow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They teaching us how to act.
Who we follow.
They're the reason why them kids don't know their history.
Yeah.
The church used to be our civil rights organization, our teachers. We went to school, and school was a review
Mhm.
because the church had taught us how to read, write, act.
All right. Yes, sir.
Sunday
School wasn't nothing but a review.
Yeah.
So that's where we can pick up as the things are partly the way they are because the church taught us how to act.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but yeah, man, I gotta go take my mom's to work.
Okay. Well, we're gonna end this Testimony Tuesday roundtable. It's been a blessing, and my hand had to get off briefly short, but I just thank y'all for joining. Today was really very informative. So God bless. Until the next.
I'll get at you, cuz.
All right.